Thanks for coming. I'll review the champions. Defensive champions for our rivalry game was Chase Young, Devon Hamilton, B.B. Landers, Jonathan Cooper up front. Coop played exceptionally well, great effort, energy. Linebackers was Tuck Borland, and on the back end of our defense, Brendan White graded champion, so did Jeffrey Okuda. Player of the game was Malik Harrison. Had arguably his best game as a Buckeye. He was all over the field, had 5 tackles, assists, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. On offense, offense champions, you have offensive line, all 5. Isaiah Prince played exceptionally well. Pridgeon, Malcolm Pridgeon, Michael Jordan, Demetrius Knox, and Thayer Munford. And once again, the respect we had for that defensive line to play the way they did, they played outstanding. The quarterback did fairly well too. He's 20-31 for almost 400 yards, 396, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and once again tying that in with the offense line, 0 sacks. Running backs played hard. Mike had 13 carries for 96 yards, and J.K. had 12 carries for 46 yards. Also did well in pass protection. Tight end Luke Farrell played very well once again against. He had to block some of those defensive ends a few times and had 2 catches for 16 yards. And the receivers were exceptional. As a group, they had 378 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Excuse me, against the #1 pass defense in America. You had Johnny Dixon, grade out champion, KJ, Terry McLaurin, Chris Olave, who we've been talking about him for some time now. He had 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and a block punt, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And the player of the game had a career day, 6 receptions, 192 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns, and that's Paris Campbell. Special Forces Award, Special Teams Awards, player of the game. Let's go special effort, 7 Banks. As I told him, he got a gift. I said, here's a ball and a block punt, go run fast and score. But he did. Amir Reed, really exceptional effort. You know, I called him the heroes, and you know, heroes come cheap nowadays. You jump high and run fast, and people call you a hero. No, you're not a hero. The heroes are the guys like Amir Reed that were incredible effort on KJ's punt return, blocked 2 people, and just exceptional effort. Really happy to see him play like that. KJ Hill with a 22-yard punt return, and our kicker, Blake, was 10 on 10 on kicks, and really did a nice job on kickoffs. Average hang time was 4, which is, you know, maybe you did most, you played your very best, and he did. Players of the game, Chris Olave, elite player as a freshman, and you got to be careful anointing a guy that soon, but he's tough. He also runs down, I think he ran down on 7 or 8 kickoffs for us. Justin Hilliard's as good a special team player that I've been around. Had a key block also on the hands team. And then Keandre Jones really had a hell of a day. Just all starts on 3 units, and we call him the 4-6 guy, 4 to 6. Effort-wise, he was phenomenal. Honored to represent the East in the Big Ten Championship game. That one's over, and getting ready for a team that plays excellent defense. I just got done watching them for about 3 hours, and I've not studied their offense, but obviously got an elite quarterback, and they do things very well. So with that said, I'll answer your questions.
Front row left, Mitch.
Urban, you've talked a little bit lately about Dwayne and his development as a team leader. I was wondering, can you point to one point in the season, one play, one game, one period of time where you thought, okay, this guy's going to be the leader that I want him to be?
One point, that'd be hard. I think the Maryland game was one that he dropped his pads and dropped some other things probably too, and I shouldn't say that. But he dropped his pads and at the toughest time in the game against, once again, a defense, very good defense, and got that at yard. The job of the quarterback, and I can't tell you how many times we told him, and I've told him, the job of the quarterback is to get a first down.
So that
changed.
So that's what it was about. More than anything, was being able to run the ball and get.
I think that's a big part of it. You know, that position, as you've heard many times around here, is arguably the most unique position in all the sport.
Yeah.
What he's asked to do, and coaches aren't on the field. There's 10 other guys looking at him every snap, and you better give the right answer. And they better trust and believe in him. And our guys certainly do.
What else about leadership qualities? You know, I think some other players talked about how he was quieter early in the season, and
He's
then
getting a
came
little
on
bit
and
more to him.
a little bit more vocal, and
Yeah,
you
that's
saw
we
that
noticed a
happen.
change too.
Far left, Lori.
Coach, when we've talked about your leaders this year, I think for the most part we've discussed guys who keep things even keel and keep their teammates focused. But who are your energy guys? Who are the guys with high motors whose energy is contagious?
Paris Campbell, Johnny, Terry. On offense, Isaiah Prince has been exceptional at that. And that's J.K. Dobbins is in that category too. On defense, I put Tuck Borland in that category. Draymond at times, and Coop.
And Chris Olave's parents showed up for the Michigan game. Did you guys have an inkling that he would have a breakout performance and make one of those phone calls, or was that just sort of coincidence they were there for the rivalry?
So you're asking if do we call the families to come in and give us a little extra juice? That's good.
When they give them a start. Maybe Chris Olave had an inkling that he was a big part of your plan on that day and told his parents.
I'd say as we always do around here, that's been, just like Wyatt Davis is going to get his first start as a Buckeye, and there's a lot of confidence around here because I've been talking about that for 5 weeks now, and he's the next man in. And Chris Olave, you just have seen a gradual. So instead of an inkling, you just see it in practice, and by sheer numbers now with Austin Mack out, he is in the rotation. He's knee deep in the rotation now.
Front row middle, Dave.
Coach, I remember when you were the coach at Florida, when you guys beat Ohio State in the national championship game. After that, you talked about how you use all kinds of things as motivation for your players. And that wasn't just the reason you guys won, but you used a lot of motivational tactics. There seems to be something about you when you're an underdog, so I'm curious what motivational tactics you might have used heading into the Michigan game.
Oh, that's the one, and it wasn't pregame. There actually was a great pregame speech. It was by Paris Campbell, and that's a 365 game. That's not a one-time shot. That's not a one for the giver type thing. That's we've been working on that one, and that goes from our strength staff to our training staff to summer to spring ball to summer training to training camp. That's a 365 game.
Wyatt Davis looks like he's going to get his chance. Is there anybody else in the mix there?
Yes.
Like Bowen? Can you just discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of that, but Wyatt Davis will get a start, and then Josh Myers is so close. He's had a great month and a half practices, and Brendan Bowen was the starting right guard before he got hurt, so he's back to almost what he was. So this is a big week for all three of those guys. And then the other guy is Josh Albee. You remember about 5 weeks ago we were bare down to the last stack, last group of guys, and now we got some depth.
Over here to the right, Clay.
When did Dwayne take to film study become? When did it move from homework assignments to this?
That's a good question for Ryan. I think he's always been that. He was very well trained.
When he first got here, even.
You'd have to ask Ryan. I know that Bryson, his quarterback coach, as he went up through I told you when I went and saw him in that recruiting trip, I sat and watched that workout. It wasn't only great performance, but the coaching was fantastic. So he's been pretty well developed.
And if you are a student, how often is that? Is that every day?
If you're a quarterback, it's every day.
And it's always with the coach or on your own, or?
Well, it can't be with a coach, but it's every day. There's 20-hour rules and stuff like that, but you're probably a lousy quarterback if you're spending 20 hours getting ready for a game. And so they all have iPads, and he's very, one of the strengths that him and Coach Day have done a good job is identifying, the protections.
Front row middle, Bill.
Urban, since you guys have returned from the bye week, your defense has had a little bit of fluctuation in terms of how it's played. It was okay against Nebraska, very good against Michigan State, obviously not good against Maryland, and good again last week. Just where do you sit with where you guys are and the progress you're making defensively?
We're making progress. The pass defense has bothered a lot of people, bothering people and giving up plays. I think rush defense and our linebackers, I thought, played very well Saturday on defensive line. And you felt like you kind of controlled the game with the defensive line. It's just, the making catches on this. That's going to be a huge part of this game.
And then other side of the ball, you talked a little bit about the offensive line after the game, but we've seen here in the past when you've had a line build and build and build throughout the season, toward at the end it's very good. Are you starting to see that with this group now?
I am. It started whenever. You got a big guy missing now, Demetrius Knox, which was a big hit. but I have seen the consistency that we all have. You know, seen consistency start. I can't give you the exact time, but they're playing very well right now. That was their best. That was one of the best I've seen. And once again, it's all. Why would you say that? Well, the respect we have for that team we play.
And do you have a number of the percentage of time Michigan blitzed you guys on Saturday?
I can find that out, but it's a high. I know right out of the chute it was a high percentage. And, I can't give you that number.
The second row left, Ari.